My name is Ben, otherwise known as Salt on Instagram and wherever you look on the internet. And I was down at Driven Halifax a couple weeks ago, and I decided to film a podcast with a couple of people that stopped by. Here's that podcast.
My name is Luke Swain. I am from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, and we are at the Driven Show.
Nova Scotia. So Dev was saying, Dev Schneer, who runs Halifax Driven Show,
Great guy.
fantastic guy. He was saying you absolutely nailed your interview.
Funny thing was, we were talking about you during my interview.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's what he was saying. He's like I've prepped you for this moment. Which
You've
is
got I have my training down because of
Yeah.
you. I think it's all you, honestly. Like
Yeah.
the years of practice, every show.
every show,
You know.
which is great.
And the level of interview gets better every time too,
Yeah.
which is pretty
Yeah.
nice.
It's good for you. Great
Good
for you.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
me. Good for everybody.
Yeah, it's great.
Makes good content.
Absolutely, dude. How do you feel to be here? Like it's the vibe right now is electric.
It's awesome.
fantastic.
So this Driven show is it's bigger than the last ones, I think. Like this,
this is
it feels
interesting.
different. It feels
Yeah.
different. There's something different now.
Yeah.
Honestly, most past Driven shows, there's been issues, man. We've had issues.
Mhm.
First Driven show had to get canceled because there was a huge hurricane.
Right. Right.
Second one was what?
It was also kind of shitty.
Yeah, it was raining. The second one, bad weather. Third one, there was wildfires in Nova Scotia.
Right. Yeah. Because like I'm
The same-
Wilkie
Yeah.
had to leave because his turbo blew up. His turbo. He had a runaway turbo that year.
Yeah.
And we had to all pile into my Impala when I had an Impala
Man.
and
the
go.
Impala.
Yeah. The Impala.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah. Like you're here. You're an eBay booth car, which is
am.
pretty sick.
It was unexpected, you know.
Mhm.
I was planning on being a booth car for you.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very happy that you backed out of mine and went to be an eBay booth car. I would have kicked you if you didn't.
I didn't back out of yours. I
Well,
replaced
no.
myself with somebody else.
Yeah. Well, so
I would
have.
never leave you stranded.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
But no, this is pretty cool. So yeah, like you're here.
Yeah.
The vibe is great.
Mhm.
We just had some drifting.
Yes.
That was sick.
Pro level cars, dude. Like
Yeah, that was
pro
like.
level cars.
Well, they're all RX-8s, and
Uh-huh.
so I was talking to a buddy earlier.
Yeah.
They were ripping. Like, that was sick.
So when I was here last night, I was setting up and I was checking them out. Two of them are JZ swapped. One of them is a K Series turbo.
Damn.
Very cool. They all make 800 to 1,000 horsepower, which is crazy.
They're making
supposedly, allegedly.
Oh
what they
my
say.
God.
However,
like is
they're
that
on E. They're all on E. Like you
Okay.
can smell it.
Yeah,
It's that sweet,
yeah.
that sweet
But
smell.
is it like for me? Like I'm wondering, because I know like 300 to 400 on a track car or whatever, like on a street car is fine. Like it's like that's a decent amount. That's a decent amount of power. Like
Yeah.
like that's a good like you're not really gonna need to go. But on a drift car, is more horsepower like is that better?
Well, I'm not any pro level drifter or anything like that, but from what I do know and from what I've experienced, with ride-alongs and friends that are in the drift community and stuff like that,
Right.
is, you know,
Mr. Friend of Jimmy Oaks.
obviously more power is more better a lot of times, but
Yeah.
not every time. You know, you see like people learning how to drift on low horsepower and
Right.
cars and stuff
Right.
like that, but when you're up in that pro level, you got to keep up. You want faster wheel speed,
Right.
you want lots of smoke going, you want all the cool
It's a show,
noises,
too. It's a
everything.
show.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
Drifting is a huge show of style, and that's why I absolutely love it, because, big all style guy. Love all style.
All
All
style.
of the styles, exactly.
All of the styles,
So
yeah.
I think that drifting is so cool in the way that it's a stylish way of racing and driving. It's not laps, it's not circles. It's,
Right, yeah, like it's
so
it's
cool.
something completely different.
Exactly.
Which I've always appreciated that, like, because we have a lot of shit we have a lot of stuff around Atlantic, Canada.
Yeah.
Behind me I have RC drifting.
RC drifting,
which
yeah.
is very cool.
Very cool.
We have like
Those things can get expensive. Those
yeah,
little
for
RC
sure.
cars.
But like we have a lot of different we have off-roading, we have drifting, we have
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things
Motorcycle
here.
racing.
Motorcycle, yeah.
There's a lot
Um,
of motorsports.
And you've kind of, with all style, but like you've kind of placed yourself in the middle of that.
Yeah,
And what is why?
So, the reason that, when I came up with the name All Style, I don't remember it exactly, but I do remember going back and forth with ideas of names for something, because I always wanted to do my own thing. And when I thought of All Style, it just came to my head, and I was like, wow, this name is like, not only is it a cool name, sounds cool, but it's also super versatile. So you can do anything with that name, right? Like it's so versatile. It can encapsulate any sort of group, and it doesn't leave anybody out. So when it comes to, you know, things that I want to do, like recently I did an outdoor collection with an off-road truck on the design and stuff like that. That's because I have a lot of friends that are into that sort of thing. They're into going off-roading, they're into that overlanding stuff, they're into that camping stuff. But me personally, I might not be that type of guy, but I want to make stuff that everybody can enjoy. And I don't want to make just car stuff. I want to make stuff for people's personalities.
Lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I guess like for me, it's interesting because I think talking to people about like doing what I'm doing now and doing the interviews and doing like the show stuff. It's really interesting because there are so many different ways to go about being a car enthusiast.
Oh man, it's
so many.
endless.
It's insane. And so from like it's like you haven't pigeonholed yourself. But I think I'm getting off track here. But like it's hard to go in one direction. So to really really go, okay, well I'm gonna kind of be accepting to everybody.
Yeah.
I think is really admirable.
I think it's the cool thing about it is like within the past few years I've learned so much about everything from marketing to learning about different clothing types to this to that to everything. I've learned so much that it kind of put me in a position to realize, you know, like you can't, you know, you can totally have a market niche. You can totally have a specific type of person you're trying to sell to, but why limit yourself? You know, why limit yourself with less options when you can do something that, like, you know, this month maybe I'm dropping something that not everybody's gonna like, but next month those people that didn't like last month maybe they're gonna like this month. You know, so trying to change it up every time and trying to be something that people want.
You put out a lot of stuff. Like I know, like for me, like I spent a couple months and I put out one T-shirt.
By the way, design looks sick.
Thank you.
Let's take a moment to look around here.
Yeah.
Ben has this insane setup going on here at Driven Show. We got the lights, the plant, the table, 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras. We got the mics, we got the headphones, everything very professional. I'm very impressed and I'm very proud of you, my friend.
Thank you.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
See people walking by, they're like, "Oh, what's going on there?"
Yeah. It's funny because like I'm having to kind of block myself off this way because there's because so many people are stopping and taking pictures and stuff, and so it's like, but it's interesting because like for you're in this niche of like, okay, I want to kind of be in all the car scenes, and it's working. Like you are the man right now.
I appreciate that.
But it's, I guess like for me, like for marketing, I have this, and I was talking to a friend about this earlier this week. Everything that I do, like if you think of like a way of like a brand identity.
Yeah.
At the core of my brand identity is I want to tell stories.
Yeah.
So everything that I'm doing, no matter like what I am doing, actually is serving that purpose. So like the interviews, like the personal ones for one car that serve talking to telling people story, like telling people a specific story about the specific person and the specific car.
Well, I think one of the coolest things about what you do is how well you can portray something and how well you can tell a story, and how, like, you know, you can say so much, or you can show so much, you can explain so much, but the way that you do it is it's not overdone, it's short, it's not too long, it's something that people enjoy.
This one might be a little long.
Well, that's all right.
So if you want to put this on when you're listening or when you're cooking or doing whatever,
this is a cool one to listen to for a long.
Yeah,
but that's a podcast style.
Right. Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
For you doing
we're not doing quick cuts
videos.
here.
Exactly. For your typical videos, it's short. It's, you know, and it's something that you can just like flick on. You watch. You're like, wow, that's that. Wow, Ben. Like you did a really good job. Like from the visuals to the audio. Buddy, you got the new camera, you got the sound effects going.
It's working.
It's awesome.
And I think like for me it's interesting, I guess, like seeing all this and like being able to be a vessel, because really like I think for me it's less about me. Like it's like if I get famous or do whatever, like it's not like sure, great.
It's about
but
the stories
I don't
you're able
want
to tell.
like I want to be able to when I'm 70, I want to still be able to tell the stories of people in the car scene I want to know. Like, I'm curious. I want to know why people chose a certain car.
There's never a stupid question. There's never
No,
too many
ever.
questions.
Oh man.
When it comes to, especially like learning about new people or like, because this community is growing every day. This
Right,
community
yeah.
here on the East Coast, like, there was a while there where it was, it was going kind of downhill.
Yeah, like there was no. Well, I remember in 2019,
Yeah.
it was kind of nothing. Like it
Yeah.
was like we had Stancy's,
Look at it now.
and Stancy's was like, and I think it's twofold. Like I'm in the community a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I've put myself kind of
Obviously.
in the center.
So you see more of it.
I see more of it, but also at the same time, like there's a lot of good stuff happening. Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of people really pushing the envelope. Yourself, you've got YFC, you've got Stancy's that are changing it up, and
Shows are
and,
popping up.
right,
like,
yeah, and like Complex.
charity events.
Right,
like,
it's
all
huge.
this other stuff, and it's like you said, back in 2018, 2019. I mean, 2018 was pretty good for low cars. In 2019, obviously 2020 with COVID, it was
Right,
harder.
right.
And 2021 was harder. However, it's just the energy, the vibes, everything from the quality,
Yeah,
the
and
quality.
people are trying
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
People are putting in a lot of effort. I mean,
not all.
some,
People-
yeah,
Not everybody will.
not
always
everyone,
put in effort. Let's
but
just say that.
yeah, like that's with anything. Like, dude, like I put effort into this, and it's
Got
paying
it.
off. But there's people that can like
For
just pick
some,
up a
it's
camera.
not worth that effort.
No, and it's like, but their effort goes in other places.
100%. 100%.
And so like I mean I see cars here like there's a 350 or 370
Yeah.
from Newfoundland.
Dude,
Dude,
there's a whole
that's
crew of them.
crazy.
There's 4 of them that came out.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
that's a pretty far.
I mean, you
drive.
came all the way from Freddie.
Yeah, that's 4 hours.
That's 4 hours
yeah.
of driving. That's no.
Yeah. And I
no.
recruited somebody from Halifax to help me.
There you go.
And it's effort. It's effort and
Yeah.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think
the
that's
thing.
coming back.
Once you have something that you really have that passion for, and you really love, that effort turns into.
And that's what I
enjoyment,
love seeing.
you
I
know?
love seeing that.
Yeah.
Like with you, with this brand, like you're really like you love this shit.
I
like,
love
you
it.
love.
Man. I love it.
I mean,
love everything
and you
about
can
it.
you can see that. Like you can.
I am so proud of myself and also everybody that's ever supported me. When I walk around the show and I see all style banners on
Dude.
cars, when I see all style sweaters, people are wearing T-shirts.
But it's
keychains,
weird.
everything.
Yeah, because it's like
It's
you.
weird to see, but I love it, man.
Yeah,
I'm so
but,
proud.
But you came up with that design, and you came up with that name
Yeah,
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's here. Like it's
Yeah.
physical. Like I can feel the jet tag. I can wear the shirt.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
here. Like you've made it a physical thing.
You know, one thing I'd say to people that are considering doing something like this, or are curious about it, or just want to learn or want to know, the best thing that I would say to anybody is just try it. Take that step, because the first step, like with everything, getting the ball rolling is the hardest.
Right.
If it's working on a car, if it's starting your own brand, if it's going to the gym, anything that's worth doing for
Yeah.
yourself. The
It's
hardest
hard.
part is just getting started.
Right. So I guess like for you doing this like all style, like it's, I mean like you're here now. You're doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But was there ever a point in time when you thought like, okay, this is really hard. Maybe I should stop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
mean-
was that like?
So I've been doing constant drops for the past 6 months now. Something new every month. That takes a lot of effort. That takes a lot of energy, and there's been a couple times during these times where like I've had like a slow week online, or a slow couple weeks online, or a drop didn't do as well as I was hoping it would, and that's just seeing that happen. It's like, oh man, this is tough. Like you invest so much time, you invest so much money that it's hard not to be. Sometimes it's hard not to be discouraged.
Right.
However, it's the ones that can take that discouraged, wake up, flip it around, and use that as some sort of motivation, being like, it takes a lot of effort, and you got to be
Right.
willing to put in the work for sure. And
Yeah.
just like you with your videos and your podcasts and everything in between, it takes effort, and there's times where you probably just want to go lay down. You want to just chill.
dude.
You don't
I-
want to
there's-
edit videos or pictures. Or,
So okay, so this is the thing that like I've talked to Destiny about this,
Yeah.
and Destiny Davidson, one of our close friends.
shout out Destiny.
She is the mastermind behind YFC.
she is.
But
Great person.
it's
She just picked up my merch for me.
Yeah.
For YFC.
Yeah.
Check it
but
out.
so part of this thing is organization. So for the longest time, I was awful,
I'm working on it.
dude. And
I'll
so
admit it.
yeah, I came into this scene as a photographer, and I switched into video, and now I'm doing this stuff. And so this takes a lot of organization.
You're branching out.
Right.
Yeah.
But for video is a lot, like for space-wise and storage, it's a lot different than a photo.
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of photos, kind of drop them in a folder, edit the one,
flip through 'em.
yeah. So flip them quick, edit the ones you like, delete the ones you don't like, and whatever. You're good.
Can't do that with video.
But for video, you instead of like 2 or 3 gigs, you're talking about 20 or 30 gigs. And then over the course of weeks, months, years, that becomes terabytes.
And you're talking, you got to look through all these videos.
Right.
You got to watch them all.
Oh yeah,
Make
and
sure
so
you don't miss any details.
right,
Yeah.
and so it's all of that, but then it's also organizing all of them. So like going back in and going, okay, well I need this video from May of 2023.
yeah.
But and so for the longest time, I couldn't do that. Like I had no idea where that stuff was. But
You're like,
over
it's there somewhere.
Is there somewhere?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a double, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But now, like over the course of the last 6 months, I've really been focusing on trying to organize myself. So now I have like a system where I have it in like a video.
Yeah.
Or like I have a video master folder,
Yeah.
and then I have specific gigs. Hi, buddy. Hi.
You want to say something?
Yeah, you want to put on the headphones? It's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Talk about something you like. What do you like? You like cars?
Yeah.
What's your favorite car? Tell the microphone. What's your favorite car?
I gotta think of this.
Oh
Which one do
man.
you like around here? Did you see one that you like today?
Which one? Well,
Corvette.
oh, I love Corvettes. I love Corvettes. They're my favorite car. Yeah. My friend has actually one of my friends just bought just bought a C6 Corvette.
It's an orange one.
Super cool.
It's got
very
orange
cool.
interior, an orange leather
Yeah.
interior too.
Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah.
A
76 Corvette.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And you're gonna drive.
That
it,
is
right?
that is a good choice. That is a great choice.
You gotta let him let you drive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good
Yeah.
one.
You do. So yeah. Man. Oh, that was cute. That was cute. I
Gotta
like
have
that.
the,
Yeah.
Gotta get the youngins involved.
Oh
you know?
man. Yeah. It's.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Organization.
Organization.
Yeah.
Fuck organization. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, that was
young
cool.
young people in the car scene. I mean, I'm a young person.
Me
You're a
too,
young
yeah.
person.
We are definitely young in the car community. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Auto lock or no?
Yeah, an auto lock.
So I just turn it on?
Yep.
That's so sick.
It's sick.
That's so nice.
Dude, it's amazing. But yeah, like it's young people in the car scene. I feel like it's weird because like I mean like we're young, but we're like we're kind of in the middle of it now.
Yeah, I mean, I would still consider myself young in today's car scene locally,
Right.
Just because there's a lot of, there's a huge variety of age, and obviously we're still pretty young, but young people like
Yeah.
kids and stuff,
Yeah.
like, that's us, from
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
like-
and like it's weird like seeing the people. I mean, like I was that kid. Well, not really even. Like I got into the car scene when I was 19.
Yeah.
I got in really late.
I always liked cars,
Mhm.
but when I was younger, like there wasn't too much locally to go to.
No, and
I would
now
always
there's a
go
ton.
I would always go to stuff with my grandfather. Obviously, like,
Right.
we talked about this a
Yeah,
couple times
yeah.
now, and he is big into the British stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
So
British
I'm-
stuff is amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, super,
And
super
obviously,
cool.
I've learned quite a lot from him and everything too. But more than cars, I was really into bikes when I was young. Really into choppers. Really into everything cool, customized motorcycles and such.
For sure.
Grew up in quite an era for
Yeah.
that sort of thing, So there was so much cool stuff to see, but when it comes to stance cars and this community of drift cars and all that stuff, really I was only really introduced to this, like you said, when I was
18, 19. Yeah.
seeing it in person then, but obviously like
Mhm.
when I was 12 to like
Yeah.
16, I obviously you watch Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah.
You see the cool stuff.
Everybody.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Those are cool lights on that R34. Like that's cool. Whatever.
I want to drive that. I want to own that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then like getting to be 16, and I went to my first show ever. I went to was Stance East,
Yeah.
It was the year
and,
that
and
it
I
was
think that's why
outdoors.
a lot of people really like Stancy's
Yeah.
because it is like
It's a
Stancy's.
core show.
It's a
It's a core show.
Like Stancy's is the show that
OG.
It's OG. Yeah, like it's the show that you go. I'm like this is what got me into cards.
And you talk to people that are older than me
Oh,
and you,
man,
and
yeah.
they have stories to tell about.
Dude,
when
it's
Stancy's
so
at
much
the
fun.
park
Yeah.
and all this and all that, and it's just like really, really cool, neat stuff to hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said,
And
Stancy's
it's-
is a core show.
And it's interesting
For
because
real.
like so I guess like where we're at with the old heads, right?
yeah,
So like where we can go in and ask them questions and be really interested in what they have to hear
Yeah.
or what they have to say. I think it's really interesting and really nice for me and for a lot of us in the wider car scene to be that for the younger generation.
yeah.
So like
Super
like
cool.
what we had right here.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Corvettes. Like Corvettes are my
yeah.
yeah.
Corvettes are sick. Who doesn't love a
Yeah,
Corvette?
who doesn't love a Corvette?
You know?
But hearing that kid actually light up,
And-
light up,
yeah, and being-
really be
Being
excited.
open and not being super shy and being willing to come over and say hi. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like he wasn't afraid to interrupt us. That's
No,
cool. You know,
no.
like, there's a lot of kids these days. A lot of people are like they feel excluded or they feel like they're not welcome. Dude, everybody's welcome.
Oh, dude.
All
and
style,
it's
all
and
people,
it's
all
right.
everything, man.
And I think
Everybody.
what annoys me is when car shows and car groups become it's weird because there's this fine line between like when you have a brand. When you have a brand, you have to be like very particular about who represents your brand.
For sure.
Yeah.
You don't want to. There's a line, I think.
Yeah,
You-
but there's also that like you want this car scene to be open to people and like have kids
Yeah.
and people that aren't interested in cars understand why we like cars and be
Yeah.
open to learning about cars.
and what makes you happy.
Right.
What makes you really excited about the car community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to that whole, who represents your brand and such.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a line. So, for me personally, the way that I look at it is, there's a certain type of person that I want nice people. That's what I
Yeah.
want. I want good people. I want nice people. I want people that are considerate and kind to represent my brand.
Mm-hmm.
I also understand people that are, super picky about what people's cars look like. I get that for the whole members only thing. I don't do that personally.
Yeah.
But I totally understand the whole members only. Your car's got to be like a certain way. Yada,
Yeah,
yada, yada.
yeah.
Totally understand that, and I totally understand having the passion for that.
Right.
I totally respect it. But for me, I'm more worried about what's that person like, because like if that person is maybe not the nicest to some people or not that inclusive to some people or
And you don't want that part of your brand.
I obviously I want to be welcoming. I want people to want to be like us, like all
Yeah.
style. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's everything that I've created. It's everything that I represent. So
And
I want people to be excited and like interested, and I want
Right.
kids like that to be like, I want to be like those guys when I grow up.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like, oh, those guys are mean to me.
Right. Yeah. And like I think it's interesting because I think for me I want to be that with photography. Like I will never ever and you will never ever see me
Shut someone out.
because
Yeah.
like I was the same like
You had to learn somewhere.
oh my god like I was the same way a lot of these photographers are. Like I was learning the angles. I was learning what looks good and what doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And how to interact with the camera.
Dude, there's so many people I could sit down and thank. There's so many people, man.
Yeah.
There's an endless amount of people
Oh my
that
God.
have helped me get to where I am. You can't do this on your own.
No.
They're like you can't.
And
if
if you say you can't do this on your own, you are lying.
Yeah.
You are so lying.
yeah, like you can learn a lot on your own. You can learn a lot, but the experiences that other people have, if you take that, it'll save you so much time. It'll save you so much effort.
Yeah.
Even Angus. Angus has helped me.
Dude.
Even though
Angus
he's
helped
new
me
at
right.
this and
Angus is
everything.
helping me right now.
Exactly.
This is
You've helped me.
yeah.
Like
You've helped me. I practiced my interviewing on you. Like it's
It's crazy.
no
it is
no
so-
man is an island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so like, especially like the community that we have and the friends that we have and the circle that we have,
It's amazing.
I'm so grateful for everybody. You know, like it is such a beautiful thing to be able to be like, yeah, Justin, who lives in Ontario, which is like a 12, 14-hour drive away from me, is willing to pick up the phone whenever I call him just to answer a stupid question about something with my online store.
Right.
Or
Which
like,
is huge.
I can send a text to Brandon, the guy who runs So Scare, because he wants to see me win too. Boost the North, Dave.
Right.
You know, even Ghost Gang, learning so much through them. Like it's crazy. You know, like I said, I could go on for days.
I think it's also it's interesting because I think there's, and I was talking about this with a couple of young photographers. There's a gap in like, so I know through doing it that I can pick up the phone and call Justin or call some of these or like text some of these people. And be like, okay, I want to learn this. Can you teach me this?
And obviously, like you do have to kind of earn your spot. Like you got to show that you're willing to do the work,
Right.
And you got to show that you're willing to, because you know nobody wants to tell somebody how to do something, take their time to tell somebody how to do something, and then just not do it. Or
Right.
you know, you take your time, you spend your time to answer somebody's questions and help them through something, and then they just don't listen to you.
Right.
That's just annoying.
Right.
You
It
don't
is,
want to
yeah.
do that.
It's
So you
frustrating.
got to show that you're willing to learn and you're willing to prove yourself before you can really, you know, expect people
Right.
to just tell you everything. Because,
Right.
you know, at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot of people that are willing to help you out no matter what, and there's a lot of great people, like I said. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. There's so many good people around. But you obviously, you got to work for that. You got to earn that too, you know, like, no, you know, it's tough because there's...
This scene is it's blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
it's as inclusive as it is, as amazing as people are.
Do it again! Do it again! Do it again! Do it again!
Off camera, we got a bunch of boys laughing it
Messing
up.
around.
Yeah, like as much as it is like an inclusive area, like you can pick up the phone, whatever. You've got to work for that. Like
Yeah.
there's so many times when I've
If
stayed
it's-
up.
If it's just a random person that's like reaching out to you and you don't know them, like you're not gonna be like, oh, like you know, you got to show that you're. What I find is the best way of showing your, you know, effort and the fact that you believe in your own self is to support others too.
Absolutely,
If you support,
absolutely.
if you support somebody, 9 times out of 10,
They
that'll
will
make them
support
want
you.
to support
They
you.
will
back,
support you.
you
Yeah.
know? And
It's-
that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that like for me, like yeah. Anyways, we could chat all day about this, but I will let you. I'll
I'm not
let
in
you
a
go.
rush. I mean,
I know.
who's up next? Who's up next?
Yeah, it's yeah. This shit is it's.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you, number one,
Yeah,
how's the day been?
it's been good.
Yeah.
I've so throughout this, like I was kind of worried. Like I was
Yeah.
worried that when I first set this up, nobody would want to come on the podcast because it is. I mean, this is a massive setup. Like
We
this
got
is
bright lights.
this is
People can be
daunting.
shy.
This
Yes.
is daunting.
Understandable. Understandable.
But I'm really happy that people want to come on and
Yeah.
talk about those things and really sit down and kind of get in the nitty gritty with me.
it's so cool to
Which
hear
is-
things from, you know, everybody's perspective and such. And what I think is really cool with what you're doing is there's no sign up sheet. There's no
No.
you got to be accepted, you know? You want to
Sit
talk?
down.
Sit down.
Sit
You
down.
want to talk? Sit down. Everybody's opinions are heard, everybody's
Dude,
voices are heard.
I have 2 ears, one mouth. I'm listening to you.
Exactly. So that's what I think is really cool. The fact that you're just, you know, willing to talk to anybody, willing to do anything with anybody, and you know, it shows that it shows your willingness.
Yeah.
It shows your effort. This is going to be a lot of footage for you to go through when you get home.
Ton.
you
But
know?
I'm happy to kind of cut it down. And
yeah.
it's like I think I've got to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
And this is where people are at.
This is
This
where
is
people
where people
are at.
want to be.
Yeah. So for you,
Yeah.
when you planned this, obviously it's hard to put something that you've never done and plan. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you expect?
Oh man. Okay. So good question. I think for me, for a lot of
Yeah.
I think like organizing this. I mean, like I didn't expect this. Like this is a lot of planning, a lot of
Happy with
effort.
the turnout?
Happy with the turnout.
Awesome.
It's
This was last minute too.
this was last minute.
This was last minute.
This was
for you.
this was like 3 weeks out.
Mhm.
And Mark Sato actually. So the reason, and I'm gonna give a huge shout out to Mark Sato, the owner
too.
of Driven.
W Mark.
W Mark.
Yeah.
So I this is an idea that I've had since like January of last year. Like I
Yeah.
really wanted to kind of get this going and figure out a way to like really kind of nail this down.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have a booth. I didn't have anywhere to put this.
You didn't have the opportunity.
No. And then Mark texts me and he goes, "Hey, I have a booth for you. Like, do your shit."
Mark's a good guy.
Mark's a great guy. And
Thanks
he's like,
to Mark for getting me with the eBay.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dev. know,
so
all
it
those
was
guys.
it was really that like, oh, okay, I have a booth. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna
in.
like
You're in.
I'm in. Like
Yeah.
this is and so to me it was like I can either dream about this
Yeah. Or you can do it.
or I can do it.
Yeah.
So
and you did it. You're doing it right
I'm
now.
doing it right now. And so like it was a okay. What do I shout out you because I talked to you. I was panicked like that day. I was panicked. I was like, what the hell
Yeah.
do I do? How do I set this up? What do I need? Like
And I
because
told
I've
you
never
it's gonna be okay.
yeah, and it is it's great.
It is okay.
And so really it was like I'd had this idea for a podcast in my head for a while.
Yeah.
And how do I do it? What do I ask? What kind of questions? What do I focus on?
And you know what I think I said? I think I told you this would be yourself. I think that's what works.
Yeah, and it's
think that's what works.
interesting because it's
Not everybody has that talent. you
no,
know?
and
You've
it's
got a gift.
it's
You've
weird.
got a-
It's
you've got a
yeah,
gift.
and it's like I'm so grateful to everybody that like and I've been hearing it all today, and it's really humbling because people watch me all the time, and like people are
Cool, eh?
excited. People are like excited for my drops, and
So
people
cool.
are like, oh, I get to be in a salt video. Oh, I get to be in a whatever. Like it's
Dude, who wouldn't be?
it
Look at you,
feels
dude, you're
yeah
killing it, man.
like
Like-
it feels weird because like I dreamt of this moment of being
It's wild when
like a
you realize,
community member.
It's wild when
Yeah.
you realize like you're there.
Yeah.
You've achieved what you wanted to achieve.
and it's
And
yeah
So don't get me wrong. A lot of times it's hard to realize that. You feel like, oh, you know, I'm here. It's where I wanted to be, but now you want more. That's not a bad thing though.
no it's not
a
it's
bad.
not like
You gotta appreciate the moment.
yeah like I'm already
Gotta
thinking
be
of ways
grateful.
I can do this better.
I've got some ideas.
Yeah, and
I've
so
got
like
some
it's
ideas.
definitely like I'm doing it. It's there. I'm like it's being done.
Is there
but
any
it's,
plan for maybe something like this at YFC?
So I've thought about it. Maybe
Okay.
I think so. So YFC is my like.
It's tough
I'm,
because you do a lot in that show.
yeah. So like I am the main video guy for
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. It's definitely gonna be a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Challenges like this was a challenge, and it
Challenge
was
is so much fun.
yeah.
A new challenge, something you've never done before, something you're learning to do. I find that's so cool. That's so
Right.
much fun. and
Like
it's
I've learned so much
Yeah.
from just being here
and it
today
feels
doing this
good,
stuff.
man. You achieve something, like be proud of yourself for this too, because
Yeah.
you know, like this summer, this year, there's been so far. I mean, we're only in May still,
Yeah.
but there's been so much already gone on. I mean,
Unreal.
we've already done amazing things. You know, like there's so much that we have achieved, and I'm so proud of my friends and family and everybody that's, you know, really
Awesome,
making it
amazing.
happen this
Yeah.
year. This year, I think it's going to be the biggest year yet for everything.
I think
From-
so, too.
Obviously, from my own brand to yours to YFC. I mean, everything is going to be insane. I'm so excited. I'm so
It's-
excited. It's going to fly by too.
Yeah.
You got to just live in the moment and like appreciate what's going on, because this is going to be, I mean, we're going to look back at this in
2025, baby.
man, and we're going to be like, wow, 2025
It's pretty
was
cool.
the year.
Yeah.
And I think this, honestly, I feel like this is the year that's going to change our lives, to be honest. Like, it's cliche, it is, but I think this year is going to change our lives.
Every year changes our lives, and every year is better, and it's great.
100%. But
Yeah.
I think this year is going to be like a
I
big,
think,
a big step.
and going back to that though,
Yeah.
effort. People are
Yeah.
like,
People are
it's the
putting in
year of
effort.
trying. It's
Yeah.
the year of like
Yeah.
people are trying to do different things. I'm
People
doing
are
different
doing it.
things.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. This
I'm
is
proud of you.
working.
This is sick.
Yeah, like we could listen. We could sit here and chat all day,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
But I will let you go.
All right.
Thanks so much for being on the podcast.
I am so grateful for the invite. I
Yeah.
want to thank you. And like I said, I'm very proud of you. This is something we've talked about before.
Absolutely.
And
it's
you've made
happened.
it. It's to fruition. We are here. We're doing the podcast. You even gave me a water. Professional guy right here.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't, make sure to follow Ben Ford and Salt Media on everything.
And let me know which car show you want this podcast at next.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
ShopAllSellJP.com. See you guys next time.
My name's Cashin Gibbon, I guess. I'm from Windsor, Nova Scotia.
Okay.
I'm 18.
So you're one of the photographers for Driven this week.
Yeah.
This is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you done a car show like this before?
Not like a drift event, but definitely a car show. Apple Blossom Festival.
Okay.
In 2024, and that was it.
Really? And so
Yeah.
like this is your second car show. How do
This
you?
is my second car show, first camera though.
Okay.
I got it in April.
Gotcha. So drone footage.
Yeah.
Like you're drone pilot. What does that entail?
I have my license for it, so you need to go through that process of it. There's two types of licenses. I only have my first one, which is the basic.
Okay.
But there is extensive just training and stuff for, not really extensive, but like
Gotcha.
you got to know the rules on where you can and can't fly, and
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
altitude limits, all of that stuff.
Nice. That's wicked. So how'd you get into drone photography?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know how. I got interested in drones when they first came out, and then the photography part really interested me afterwards.
Okay. Wow. So this is your second car show ever, really, that you're shooting. What have you learned from today?
Honestly, the car angle shots, like
Okay.
that's a really big important part of car photography. Is you can't just have car shots randomly. You got to know what car shots are important and what ones they want as well.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess like for you doing this sort of thing, do you see a future for yourself in something like this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to do my own business after
Okay.
high school.
Yeah, that's wicked. And like so how did you get into doing car show stuff? Because I know like every person is a little bit different.
With fully Apple Blossom Festival. So
Okay.
that was the first time I got introduced to car photography.
Wow.
And they were like, hey, take this camera, not this one, but take a camera and go shoot some cars. And I was
Wow.
like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm good.
And so then like you took some shots and you started to really like it.
Yeah.
I know like for me, when I first started in photography, I was doing portraits. Like I started in 2018, 2019, and it wasn't until like 2020 when I did a supercar shoot, and I like literally it's so weird, but overnight I went from portrait photographer to a car photographer. And I really haven't looked back since. That was 5 years ago, and I'm sitting here now. But it's like, I think this profession and this hobby, or like this scene, can give you so much if you really let it. And I think like you'll have a bright future in this.
Oh, yeah, fully.
So you reached out to Driven,
Yeah.
chatted with them. Then Mark was like, yeah, like let's set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually like I kept seeing their ads on Instagram.
Okay.
I was like, hey, they're coming to Halifax. And I was like, holy shit, I have a possibility at this.
Yeah.
So I reached out with like, I don't know, one of the most professional emails I've ever done. And I was just like, hey.
How'd you? Yeah, go ahead. Keep on going.
I'm like, hey, I have a drone. I've been always wanting to do drifting shows before. Can I do this today or like Saturday? He's like, yeah, totally. Come on out. We'll give you the access and everything else.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah.
And I guess like you sending that email, I think how was writing that email? It must have been nerve wracking.
Oh, it was very nerve-wracking. But like the other things that have helped me in that was I do co-op in a high school, which that makes me have to reach out to a lot of people. So that helped a lot. And
Okay.
just was like, all right, well, I know I got this. I know how to write emails.
And it worked.
Yeah,
And
it
you're here,
worked.
and
It
you're
worked
doing
out.
drone stuff.
Yeah.
I guess for you, like, do you? What did? Sorry, I'm a little fried right now.
Good.
When you're when you're shooting now, what have you noticed? Like, what have you picked up over the day? Like, what's been your favorite style that you've been working on, or really what stood out to you?
Honestly, like car shots specifically, the rear quarter panel on the passenger side, it's such an attractive feature on
Interesting.
most cars, where there's something about it where you shoot down the line of like along the first third,
Yep.
vertical, down the line of the mirror.
Okay.
And it's so
Interesting.
good right there.
Yeah. And like as someone who's like really never shot cars before,
Yeah.
like was that a happenstance thing that you just kind of like picked the shot and really liked it?
Yeah, so this lens is actually not for inside stuff. It's a 70 to 300 millimeter.
It's oh,
yeah.
that's
it's-
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to back
So
up
so
a
you're
lot.
fully nuts.
I'm fully nuts.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was like,
Interesting.
You know what? I got one camera. I got one lens. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like I feel like a lot of this stuff, like a lot of camera stuff is like really just how can I do this with
what I have,
yeah,
yeah.
with what I have. So it's I think you're doing great. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I think this is pretty sick. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, you too, man.
My name is Max Forte. I run MF Media, also DJ40, and I run Dockside Drops on Instagram. I'm here today doing some videography for my personal page, MF Media.
Nice. All right, so this is this your first show of the year?
Yeah, it is.
Nice. Okay, so what's the vibe right now? Like, is it pretty fun?
I'm thinking vibes are high, I'm always a big fan of before the show starts, with no people around, but the crowd definitely solidifies the videos, Gives you something to look at.
It's awesome. What's been your favorite car here so far?
Oh man, it's a hard question. I'm a sucker for Volkswagen, so there's a Mark III or Mark IV. I forget. Pop-up video is that blue one that I was filming.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah.
love that. So
was awesome.
that's one of my I see that at Complex every year. It's definitely, or not every year, but it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah,
The
I've
lines are so
definitely seen it
nice.
around.
Yeah. So yeah, like you're feeling good. Vibes are high. What are you excited for today?
It's a great question, man. I mean, honestly, with Driven, every year it's always awesome with the drifting, The cars are just a bonus, but everybody comes for the drifting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm bumming an A7 R3 off a friend with a 70 to 200 lens on there, so it'll be awesome. Get some cool shots. I'm excited.
That's wicked. Yeah. I really like that. The Sony glass is, or the Sony camera system, I just recently switched, and it's fantastic. I like, no complaints. It's a pretty fun system to run. The images are really clean.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't really
you're
dipped
getting
into
there.
Sony that much. I'm
Yeah.
currently running a Canon EOS M50, a little vlog camera, but I've paired it with my DJI RS3 mini gimbal, and I think it's a perfect combo.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, those RS3 minis, like, yeah, bring it up. That thing is pretty wicked.
Yeah.
It's
It's definitely it's an awesome combo, This very lightweight camera, so it's perfect.
yeah, and like you've been running that for the better part of this year.
Yeah, well, this is the first show I've shot with it, so I've just been kind of fooling around with it,
Yeah.
But yeah,
wicked.
I'm excited to try it out further.
Yeah. So I guess in terms of like, shit. Yeah.
Tuesday again.
There you go, man. It's interesting being here and talking with you on this podcast. Are you? Yeah. So you live in Fredericton? Or sorry, you live in Halifax.
Yeah, I live in Halifax. I was born and
Um,
raised here. Yeah.
Nice. And so what for you? Like, this is kind of the culmination of the car scene in Halifax.
Yeah,
what's
definitely.
what's special about the kind of the coast here?
It's a great question. I mean, it's definitely a pretty diverse community. We got tons and tons of different cars, but it's awesome. It's awesome that Halifax is kind of becoming a hub for these events because, I was just talking to people before the show started. We've got like 4 cars here from Newfoundland.
Wow.
People drove here
that's
from
really
Newfoundland.
far.
That's dedication right there.
And what cars are those?
There were a few 370s. It's actually
Okay.
this one right here.
Wow.
I think so.
Jeez.
I think he popped a tire coming up here or something. 'Cause he's on a spare on the front left right now.
Damn.
That's dedication.
yeah.
It's still coming. Not turning around. That's dedication.
Wow. Yeah. And so like for you, you're from here. What does that mean for you to have people come from Newfoundland to come to your city and come see cars at your city?
I mean, it feels pretty awesome. I mean, it really tells you that Halifax is getting put on the map with these events. Driven, Import Expo,
Yeah.
and then just the local car culture here.
Yeah, there seems to be like quite a coming from Fredericton, my team and I at YFC we've kind of helped build a lot of the car scene in Frederick.
Definitely.
It's like we've helped kind of bring it up and bring people or get people aware of the scene in Fredericton and having shows like Driven, like Import Expo, bring people out and like, I mean, right behind you is a car that was bought in January, and it looks gorgeous. It's
Right.
Mitchell Howell's 1JZ i300. It's
Right.
fantastic. So I guess like for you, looking at all these cars and knowing that like you live here in Halifax, and you get to come every year to Driven, well, like what excites you about this show?
Honestly, it's just getting to see people, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything else is just a bonus. But you're always coming together with your friends. That's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy here right now. I don't know where he went, but he's got his camera too, and we've just been going around having a great time taking videos. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, sure. Like, and you're a younger photographer, videographer too. So like,
Yeah.
I guess for you, you're still learning, and I mean everybody's still learning, but I guess it's really nice because you have a chance to come to these shows and learn from people that are doing the same thing you're doing, but a couple years ahead.
Exactly.
But also get to come here and practice, and like that's like where I started. I practice all the time, come to these shows, and I never miss a show.
I know. Yeah.
And it's
I mean, let's just say, it's the same with everybody. But you look at, let's say for example, your first Instagram video and your most recent.
oh, it was garbage.
Even
It was
on
so
YouTube,
bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
Same with me. You can
Yeah.
it's awesome how you can just see the progression. That's honestly my favorite part about it.
Yeah, like
You know,
I
every time you just get to one up yourself. It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Like I look back on my videos, but like I look back on my first vlog ever that I did, and it was awful. Like I was
Yeah.
so bad. But now, like I'm posting stuff that like I really feel proud of.
Yeah.
But it took me years and years, but practice. Like I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget. And what you're doing right now, you're here. You're doing the work. You're putting legwork in
Yeah.
to get here and to shoot the cars and to really immerse yourself in the scene, which I really admire. I think it's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, honestly, just watching your YouTube, watching your Instagram, you're like, I don't know, my biggest role model in the game right now.
Appreciate that.
You
No,
know,
there's
look
much
up
bigger
your
role
content.
models. So
Yeah. Well, hey man, don't sell yourself short. You're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I really love everything you bring to the table, and your vibe, just even talking here with you is just awesome. You know. And I mean, I love watching your YouTube, even if the videos are about nothing sometimes, your vlogs, but it's just sitting down. It's just sitting down. The fucking, I don't even know how to put it. Like, it just looks so perfect. You know, you've got everything framed so well. Colors are beautiful. It's awesome.
yeah, I guess like for you, when you look at like either my work or somebody else's work, like what do you look at and go, oh, I want to try that, or like I want to emulate that?
That's a great question. I mean, I think a big part for me was definitely having more stable footage because, and with the gimbal especially, that's going to be a big upgrade because that's something that's been on my bucket list to buy and to upgrade my my arsenal of camera gear for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially after buying my new camera, upgrading from, I was just running my parents' old Nikon, not Nissan, my parents' old Nikon camera. So it's a big upgrade, honestly.
Oh, huge.
Even for a
Yeah.
smaller camera like the EOS M50,
Yeah, so I guess like for you, this, I mean, yeah, like you said, like gear takes I have, like this is not all mine. Like I rented a bunch of this stuff.
Right.
It takes a while. Like, and I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people forget that. And when they start, like, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Yeah, you're 16.
Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of people start and they go like, oh, I want everything. I want the effects here. I want the crazy camera. I want the super great lens. I want the best gimbal. And they forget that gear doesn't make you better. It almost does the opposite when you first start.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you
also
never want too much.
Yeah.
You want to pair your gear with your confidence level, with your expertise level. And that's the best way to do it, in my opinion.
And I mean, like this setup here, that like you look at yours, and it's a little cheaper, but it's also
It's a monster, man. It's a monster.
it's like you're gonna be doing fantastic work
Yeah.
out of that RS3, but you're gonna learn how to use it. You're gonna take what you learn and upgrade it to a better camera, a better gimbal, a better I guess maybe even a handheld rig. Like it's
Exactly.
everything that you're doing right now is setting yourself up for the future, which is amazing.
And I feel like, we're in 2025. I feel like the biggest part of, internet, social media, everything, it's just always constantly comparing you to everybody else, It's like you watch YouTube, whatever, you're watching a video of some videographer, how can I get better? And they're using $1 million rig,
Oh yeah, and it's hard because like I know like for me like I look at people that are doing what I want to do,
Yeah.
and they have crazy lenses, and now I have the same camera, but it took me 6 years. It's like it's always you're always gonna want that next best thing, and it's really like with the internet now, like it's really hard to not want to do that. Like it's like you're looking at all the stuff and you're going like, oh, I need this for better footage. I need that for better footage. I need to like if my photo wants to like if I can get my photo to this level, I'd be a millionaire. Like it's so I guess looking at all this stuff, like it's hard to be a photographer or videographer in this internet space now. You're always comparing yourself to somebody, which is like kind of strange.
Yeah, no, that is so true. I mean, let's take me for example. I just threw on the chest mount today. I got my GoPro Hero 5 here. It's an older camera, it might not be the best, but we're still gonna give it a shot, I thought it'd be an awesome idea. I've been seeing it going around, so we're just gonna give it a try and see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. And like I think like POV stuff now, like I've been doing a bunch of POV stuff, and it's interesting because I think a lot of people, not that they discredit POV, but they kind of forget about it.
That's totally true. Yeah.
And like I love watching POV stuff, like Life of Optics or I think it's like anyways, this guy has like almost 1 million followers. He shoots on a crop sensor camera, which is crazy. But he has almost 1 million, not knocking crop sensor, just putting that out there. But he's shooting with this camera. He's doing POV stuff. But it's really neat to see what his thought process is, like, and going through each shot and going, okay, well, this is the framing and this is what I want to get out of the shot. And so I guess like for you, like it'll be really interesting for me to see your videos and go, and one like what you keep in and what you keep out.
Right.
But two, going through and okay, like if I want to get this shot, I'm going to frame myself up this way, and all that stuff. So,
right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just something new to try, Like, yeah, that's the only way you can put it, It's trying something new, it's broadening your horizons, and it's just having a good time,
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. But I don't want to keep you, so I'll
thank you, man.
see you around. No worries.
For sure. I think we got some drifting going on starting in a minute here.
I think so. All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, so I'm Noah Lescu. I'm here from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I've been coming to Driven for the past couple of years now. Been involved with the car scene. Started out with media. I was working with Mason, Alay Media.
Yeah.
He's taught me a lot of things, so I'm hoping to get on the media team this year for Complex.
Oh yeah.
It'll be good. I'm looking forward to working with some of you guys in the future. But
Yeah.
we're here today, Driven Halifax 2025, man. It's dude,
Feels good to be
this
here.
is like the birth of the car scene for this year, so it's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's pretty fun to like. You've got oh shit. Yeah, it's the first car show that I've been at. I know Aiden's been at Speed Sport, but like it's fun. It's like the energy here is great.
It's awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
I know last year was pretty crazy. This year is also pretty crazy. It's still ramping up. Like we had cars down the highway lined up to get here.
Wow.
It was
like
crazy.
a couple hours ago.
No, like last year.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember my first year coming here, and it took me 2 hours to go 4 kilometers. It was crazy. Like it was so packed. I don't think I've ever seen a car show be that packed.
Yeah.
Other than Complex, like year 3 maybe.
Yeah.
It was insane.
But yeah, no, let's say I'm excited to see it, man. We got the drift cars coming out soon. We got 3 RX-8s this year,
Dude.
which I'm happy for. So this
Yeah.
will be. They usually did some RX-7s, 240s.
Our RX-8s, do they hold a special place in your heart a little bit?
I got an RX-8.
You got an
myself.
RX-8?
Yeah,
No
I have
way.
one. It's
Okay.
outside right now.
No way.
But,
so
yeah.
so in a couple years, you're saying that could be you.
It could be. We'll
Yeah,
see. Yeah,
dude, that's
maybe
wicked.
If I get a new motor in there. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
But no, I'm excited for it. I'm happy to see what the drivers got.
Yeah.
Going on today. So
That's wicked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you mentioned you do a little bit of media.
Yeah, I do. A little
So
bit
talk
of
to me about
media.
that.
Yeah, so I started, how I started was in the car scene myself, so doing photo shoots for a couple guys. I did some videos and a couple car shoots for some of the guys in the show
Yeah, for sure.
today. And I just kind of birthed it from that. I've got really good at doing photos, and then I started diving into video, upgraded some of my equipment. I just learned from a lot of my mentors, and so I'm still growing, still in that
Yeah.
early stage.
Everybody's still growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm happy, like the networking opportunities from different events, like whether that's some of the entertainment stuff with Magnetic Worlds and Conscience and Halifax, and even a lot of the car shows out here. It brings a lot of variety of people like together. It brings all the car guys together. A lot of media guys get pulled in for events like this, so
Hell
it's
yeah.
good to get
Yeah.
networking.
So yeah, like for you, like what drew you to taking pictures of the cars?
Honestly, I got into cameras when I was like pretty young, and I never really was a car guy. And I got my license when I was 17 years old, and from that moment, I was like kind of started to get into cars. A lot of my friends were into cars, so I started making up a little build for myself. I had a Ford Focus, 2012 Ford Focus.
I like those are
Yeah.
decent cars, a decent platform.
Yeah, so I sold that a couple years later and bought the RX-8 because I wanted something that was very unique, not a lot of people had.
No.
And
I mean, yeah, like I know 2 people that I know of. Like, I think there's like what, like the Stancy Pants R8,
yes,
RX-8, sorry.
and then the orange Lucas
Yeah.
got that orange
Okay.
strapped RX-8.
And then there's like a guy that I know in Fredericton, and then there's a guy that I know out in Idaho or whatever in the
Really?
States,
Yeah.
and he has one.
Okay.
But really, like, there's not a lot of them around.
No, there
like they're
isn't.
like
and
they're
that's
really
for a reason.
Yeah.
Like if
Is
you're
it-
keeping the rotary in it, you end up
It's tough.
having a lot of problems.
Yeah, for sure.
I dailied my RX-8 for
Yeah,
about
ballsy.
a year, and yeah, it worked, and then it didn't. So definitely have to have a second car. But that's kind of how it all started with the RX-8, and I just started taking pictures of cars, and I never went back since, man. There's so many different cool things you can do with them, and it's it gets a lot of attention. So
Yeah, that's wicked. Yeah, so like I guess like for you, I mean when I started, I had an opportunity to shoot like 2 or 3 supercars.
okay,
I'd never shot cars before ever in my life, and I shot a supercar or 2. Woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning in Shediac in New Brunswick, which is like 20 minutes outside of Moncton. Woke up, shot those cars, and like overnight I became like a car photographer.
Wow.
But it's interesting because you hear so many of us, and I feel like a lot of us photographers, videographers, we like cameras, and then we like cars.
yes,
It's like
and that's how it was for me too.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's interesting to like, and like, so I guess for you, like you started what, 2-3 years ago?
I would say it's probably a bit, 3 to 4 maybe now. It was kind of like I did it kind of part time, like here and there at the beginning, and then I started getting into it. But
Yeah.
it's been
And how's that journey been like?
It's been something, like it's all learning, right? I was terrible when I first started.
Everybody is terrible. Dude, I sucked. I sucked so much. I was so bad.
Yeah, but and it's framing, man. Like it's so natural now. Like, and I find a lot of people can say the same. I'm pretty sure you can say the same when you got a camera in your hand. It's so natural. You can just tell whether it's going to be a good shoot or maybe not so great.
Right.
It's all about the post editing and being able to frame it coming all naturally, and whether or not you can
Oh,
create
yeah.
something crazy. But yeah, it's been mostly the journey's been a lot of learning. Like I said, I learned from myself, and then I've learned from a lot of other guys too. Like, hey, try doing this, try doing this. I remember like I wasn't the greatest at shooting cars, and then Mason, Elaine Media, he brought me out to one of his shoots one time.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple years ago. And when I was with him and he was coaching me, it was like one of the best photo shoots I've ever done. Like, it
Yeah,
worked out
and
so
it's
good.
and it's like it's time behind the camera. Like you just gotta like put the reps in and figure it. Like yeah, like having some like Mason is an amazing photographer.
Yeah.
He should be coming out more soon now. I think he's been like I think he's in engineering, right?
Yeah, I was on the phone with him a little bit ago. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah,
He's got
so
a lot
like
on his plate.
it's hard because it's like you've got. I mean, like for me, like right here, I'm sitting with this like massive podcast studio in the middle of a car show.
Awesome, man. I love
And
this
like
thing.
I was like, okay, like what do I do this different? But in that same vein, I've created a lot of work for myself. Like this is gonna be a monster to edit. It's gonna be different. But I guess like you kind of adapt to what you start doing. So like for you, getting that coaching from Mason, you started. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, and then putting time behind the camera, getting good with me, and like having Mason. Okay, this shot. Having Mason tell you, okay, this shot is good. This shot is not so good, and kind of like that. I guess that helped you a bunch.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it was even like the constructive criticism was a big part, and then also when I would be actually there shooting, he's like, do this, and I would always shoot my like letters and stuff. Let's say I was shooting like a WRX, where it was saying WRX, I'd always shoot like from the right side. He's like, no, always have the letters like facing left to right, all that kind of stuff, and it's like it's something that won't catch like.
It's
Somebody
it's
who's
the, oh
looking
it's
at
the
it, but
it's the
like,
nitty
it looks
gritty
more
details,
natural.
right?
Yeah, it looks more natural to the regular person. So.
yeah, like
It's
it's
got a valve cover.
yeah, but it's I guess like it's weird because like it's the stuff that like nobody else notices
Right.
that we do, and going okay, like I like yeah like that. I guess like for me, making sure that my white balance is perfect, and then I can edit.
Right.
Or like it's all the little things that people don't care. Like people really don't notice. That dude, I spend hours sometimes figuring out the right color.
Yeah, and it's all manipulation of like light, and that's something that I've learned. Like editing photos, like editing photos, but like once you can figure out, you're like in Lightroom, how to like manipulate light and like
Oh, God.
like
it's so
trick-
much fun,
trick
man.
people's brain. It's like it's all just a light scheme. It's like having light bounce off here, having light bounce off here. Okay, let's say I was in Switzerland just a couple of months ago skiing, and I took probably a couple thousand photos. I was there for just under a week,
Yeah.
taking pictures of some of these mountains and darkening and bluing up all the shadows and bringing in some of that warmer stuff where the sun was coming in.
Right. And you
Having,
can
like,
fake a lot of that too.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
like-
or like not even fake, but like accentuate.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Like bringing in like bring in positive D haze all where the light was coming in, and then bring in all negative D haze toward like the bottom corner where it wasn't, and it puts over this. I don't even know this gradient of like light where everything's supposed to be. And
Right.
you look at the raw versus you look at the
You edit it, and you're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to look.
Yes.
It's such a weird because like I have that with some of my photos too, where like I have an edit and I'm working on this thing for a while.
Yeah.
And then I do something and I got like there's a mask that I get the mask perfect or like it's in the perfect spot to kind of accentuate a certain element of the photo.
Yes.
And it just feels right. Like it feels like okay, this is how the
it's
photo is supposed to be.
Yeah.
When you get that like light bulb moment, it feels amazing.
Oh, dude, it's like I'll sit on my computer, I'll apply a mask, and I'll just be like blowing my own mind. I'm like just sitting there, and I'm like,
And
dude,
it's-
this is
Man.
crazy.
And
you know?
yeah,
So, but
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it
yeah.
is.
And it's funny because like I find for me when I first said that like holy shit, this is like I took this photo. As a photographer, it's one of the weirdest feelings because like you're your worst critic. Like you're always kind of you're gonna be like, oh well, I can shoot this better next time, or I didn't have this this right setting, or like I should have been 5 feet over.
you're the one that's gonna notice
Right.
everything.
But when you have that one photo, that you look at it, you kind of import it into your software, and you do your edits, and you look at it, you really sit there and you go, I took that. Like that was I took that photo. Like I hit that shutter, I was there in that moment.
That's right.
It's such a weird feeling,
It is, yeah.
but it's amazing.
And you gotta remind yourself even too. Like I got a buddy of mine that shoots beautiful cinematic sequences. He does all these like summer edits, so he'll go the whole summer, shoot a bunch of stuff, and he'll make this like whole cinematic sequence by the end of it. And I'm like, every time I watch one of his videos, I'm like goosebumps. I'm like, dude, this is incredible, like Netflix type stuff, man. And
yeah.
he's like, see, I've never actually blown my own mind before, but it's like, cause he's so like,
Right,
it's
he's
him
so
doing
in
it,
it,
but
and
I'm
he's
like,
so-
to anybody else, it's like, holy, right? So it's a lot of the times you gotta like step back and just appreciate the work that you've done. And you know, you can only do so much work, and then at some point you're like, hit the export button.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
good, but-
And it's like it's weird because it's like that like done versus perfect.
Yes.
So you've got one like you've got a photo that's done and it looks great, but if you take it that little bit, it might be perfect.
That's right.
But perfect is gonna take that like hour more to do maybe,
Yes.
or 20 minutes, or
Oh, yeah.
or an extra little bit. Whereas if you get it like, and it's weird because like there's always like you want it perfect. You want it to be the absolute best thing that you can do. But there's also that like if you go way too far, you'll never post anything.
Right.
So like, and I've done videos in this where like you're your own worst critic, but perfect is also the enemy of success. So it's if you're always searching for that perfect, you're never going to have anything be perfect because it's never going to be.
100%. Like I've been editing on Premiere Pro. I'll do sequences and I'll redo the sequence like 4 to 5 times, even like 6 times in like the same timeline because I'm like I don't like it. But it's like, dude, at some
And
point,
once
it's
you
like,
hit that like click,
yeah, at some point it's like they're all good, but it's like they don't hit, and like there's just once you find like that, okay, like this is it, let's go. Right, because I do find that it's a lot of trial and error. Like I'll make a whole sequence, and it's the thing is starting, especially in video. If you're starting a video, I know you do quite a bit of video as well.
Yeah.
don't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's a million different ways you can
oh
start
man,
something.
there's so many.
It's like you could do this, you could do this, you can start it like this, you can have this faded, you can have the music drop, come in, like there's so many, so you gotta try and figure out, and like there might be 6 different ways that might look good, but it's all about like
There's
trying to-
6,000.
Oh,
It's crazy.
beautiful. Right.
But when you get that, like it's crazy because when you get that like the one that feels right, and you can, to me it's always like I love, and I know I'm weird for this, but like my favorite part is when you finish the first edit, like the rough edit, and you're like, okay, this looks great, and you can take that rough edit and get it just a little like working from that 80% to that 100%. That to me is more rewarding than actually creating the thing in the first place.
Oh, you're so
It
right.
like it's, and I'll spend hours reworking a sequence
Yeah.
to make it hit harder and like hit just right. And once you get that, it feels amazing.
Oh yeah, very very rare is it you start and then finish and it's all one like swift
Dude,
movement, right?
final, great final. There we go.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's-
right, man.
yeah,
That's the way.
man,
But
yeah. Well,
what's up, man?
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for having me on today.
yeah, pleasure.
Awesome.
Great.
Yes, man. We'll see you in Complex Union this summer.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there.
Mitchell Howells. I'm from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
Dude, Cole Harbour. That's
Yeah.
So how far is it? Like I'm horrible with like Nova Scotia geography. How far is that from Halifax?
15, 20 minutes, just over the
Oh,
bridge, kind
okay.
of like Dartmouth side. It's not
Gotcha.
too far away, but
Okay.
a little bit out of the city.
Solid. Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice for the
Good.
got a nice garage at home and shit. So
Nice. Yeah. And so you brought a IS300.
yeah.
Yeah. It's 2J or 1J. 1J swap.
yeah.
So tell me about that car.
Well, so it all kind of started because I always wanted a Lexus IS300, and I wanted something.
Sweet car.
They come with the NA2Js,
Okay.
and you can get the manual, but it's hard to find a clean one. So I was looking for a clean one, and I always planned on kind of buying one, and then my whole plan was to 1JZ swap one at some point. And I was looking, I went and seen a few cars around, and none of them were really that clean or were too rough shape. And then
Okay.
I was looking on Facebook Marketplace in Quebec, and I came across one that was already 1JZ swapped, and it was a good deal, and it was
So this car's from Quebec.
yeah, I got it from Quebec City, but it originally came from New Jersey in the States.
Oh,
And it made-
dude.
yeah.
Dude. Yeah. States cars are great.
Yeah, and then made its way to Alberta and then Quebec, and now it's in
Oh,
Nova
so
Scotia.
so this is like a world traveler car.
Yeah, it's been
Wow.
it's been around.
Yeah.
At
And-
the
okay.
yeah, previous owner, 1JZ, swapped it.
Wow.
He did a bunch of work to it, and then I think he just kind of
Yeah.
didn't want to put any more money into it, which is perfect for
Fair
me.
enough. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you got this in January?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty wicked.
Yeah, so
Um,
really my first time having it out on the street. but-
Yeah. Well, I'm honored that you wanted to park at my booth.
Oh, 100%.
I love Lexus. Lexus
Yeah.
is like, I mean, yeah. I was telling you earlier. I had an IS 250. It was rotten. It was like I blew the rear diff like the first 45 minutes I owned it.
Yeah.
So like I've always had a soft spot for Lexus. So seeing this car and having this car in my booth is pretty awesome for me. So it looks amazing.
No, I've always been watching your content and stuff like that. So as soon as I seen you post, I was
Yeah.
like, well, even if it's just for a shoot,
Dude,
like I
hell
was like
yeah.
100% down.
Yeah.
And you said the booth, I was like, oh, even better.
Dude, yeah, no, and this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I guess like for you, have you been to Driven before?
I've been as a guest, I guess, like
Yeah,
as a visitor.
spectator. Yeah,
but
for sure.
Not as a
As a boost car.
yeah, no,
yeah.
especially not as even with my car in the show, but
Yeah.
as a booth car
So
too.
this is how does that feel?
It feels pretty good. Like I had a 2008 Mazda Speed 3 before this.
Okay.
And so I kind
Those are
of
cool.
I was kind of always into cars because I used to dirt bike. My dad was into like motorsports and stuff like
Okay.
that, but
Oh,
I
wow.
never really got into the car scene until late last year.
Yeah, dirt biking. How's like so? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I got a Honda CRF 230, and that's kind of one of the nice
Yeah,
parts
for
about
sure.
living a little bit outside the city is that you can. There's lots of trails
Rip
around my
around,
house and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
But well, my dad was always into it. He used to race dirt bikes when he was a kid, and then
Wow.
he bought me my first dirt bike when I was 5 years old, and then it kind of kicked off like that ever since. So.
Wow. Yeah. So like for you, what was fun about dirt biking? Like why'd you like to do it?
I think it's the adrenaline rush and like the challenge, and just growing up, both my parents always drove motorcycles, so
Okay.
kind of be able to hop on something with two wheels is like
Yeah.
I
So
was, like,
you're
living up with my
you've always
parents.
been a two wheeler.
yeah, I was,
Yeah.
but then something happened, something clicked, and then I just got extremely into cars, and
Yeah.
then it kind of kicked off like that ever
Dude.
since.
So like this is this your first show car?
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess like you had the Speed 3.
yeah, and I wrapped that myself, and then
Okay. How'd that go?
it was a
It's
pain.
hard.
I was supposed to be in Complex Outdoors, but I
Okay.
said that I was gonna wrap it, and then
Yeah.
I didn't end up getting the wrap until about 3 days before the show,
No.
so I had to wrap it in one weekend with my buddy Josh that you had met earlier,
Yeah.
NDR, and we just banged it out in 3 days and
Jeez.
drove it right to St. John after that.
Wow.
So it was, I think
What color was it?
It was baby blue.
I saw
white
that car.
wheels.
Yeah. I think I have a picture or a video of that car rolling through the show. I for sure remember it
Yeah.
because it stood out so much. That was a really cool color.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about wrap, but you can't really beat paint. That's the problem. So.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's now we're here at the Lexus. It's a whole different,
Yeah, that's wicked.
whole different world. Some
Yeah.
rear-wheel drive, big
Wow.
turbo. good
Yeah,
top.
how does it drive? Like, is it
drives?
pretty fun?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a little bit. It's a lot different than the Speed 3. Like the
Mhm.
power's
I would
coming
imagine.
behind. It's a bigger turbo, so it spools a lot later.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I first got the car, I was like, "Oh, this is slow," but I was driving it like I was driving a small turbo car.
Okay. Yeah.
And-
Yeah. Tell me about that first drive. Like when you got in it, and you're sitting in it, and you're like, okay, this is like I bought this. This is my car.
It was like a surreal feeling. Like it was like kind of it all happened super fast because I was up in Quebec and we had to leave like right after. But I went on like that first quick spin, and that was the other thing. I never got to even test drive the car when I bought it.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
the guy
So
never
you
wintered.
kind of bought it blind.
Yeah, the guy never winter drove it, so he didn't want to winter drive and me test drive it and then
Right.
I'll buy it. But it was cool. It was nerve wracking because the car's got no traction control, no anything, and I'd never owned a rear wheel drive car, especially with a lot of power.
Yeah.
So hopping behind the wheel of that was like I just didn't want to crash it. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
kind of scared to give it the beans, but it
That's wicked.
getting used to it now.
Yeah, for sure. So I get yeah. So you're here. You're at the show. What you're from like Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Like there's cars from there's cars from New Brunswick. There's cars from there's cars from Newfoundland here.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel to like have people come to a show that like is in your city?
I think
Or
that's
is in your kind of
yeah,
area.
I think that's one of the best parts, is because you go to, when you're from a certain area, you go to a lot of the meets, and you see a lot of the same cars, even if they are great and whatnot. But when you're going to these shows and people are driving from out of province, you're seeing new cars that you've never gotten to see before. And I think that's one of the coolest parts about these things, is you get to see new stuff. Like at a certain point, you go to the meets, maybe see a new car or two every time, but when you come to these, you get to see all kinds of stuff you never seen.
Yeah, there's quite a few cars here that I haven't seen before. Like I've come to Driven every year, and like I really don't miss a show. And there's your car is brand new, but I know it's brand new because you bought it in January.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of cars here that I've never really seen before.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. It's really nice to see people still trying and still kind of push that boundary, push that envelope with cars. I think Driven is a big show. It's cross country.
It's
so
different.
It's
It's different than a lot of them too, I find, because you got like the dealerships,
Right.
and like a lot of different like vendors, I guess, than you would at like a typical show. Like you'll see a lot of the maritime brands kind of around every show, but then this one seems to bring in like more bigger companies and different stuff that you wouldn't normally see.
I think there's a bigger weight with this show. Like it's tough because like I do admire, like I do really like the local shows and having
same.
like and like you look at Complex Union, you look at YFC, you look at Stain Season, they're homegrown shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they're really connected with with the place that they're from.
Yeah.
But this show feels it's different. Like it's not like a SEMA where it's like you're not buying anything. You're not you're like really just there to see the cars and see what people are building that year. But it's also like it's kind of in the middle of like, okay, you've got crazy cars, you've got a lot of dealers who bring the car right behind you is a $500,000 car.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. $500,000.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So like to bring that out to like a local show, like out to a show here is pretty nuts.
Yeah. Sure.
And I don't know if that would have happened without Driven being what Driven is.
Yeah. They got a big reach and stuff like that, and I think the whole cross Canada thing kind of makes people get a little bit more excited for it. And they always do it early in the year too, so it's like the first big show of the year.
Yeah, it's kind of like a season opener,
Yeah.
which is nice. I feel like, I know for me, like this is my first car show this year.
Yeah,
and
same here.
I'm pumped. I'm super excited. It's great to be here, to be talking to you.
Absolutely.
To see all these cars that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like there's an energy here that like sometimes you don't get until you see a car show.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's nice. I guess like for you, why do you think people come from so far to see I think you answered that already. But I guess like what's catching your eye here?
Like in terms of cars?
Yeah, in terms of cars, booths, whatever.
I noticed there was a 2JZ swapped 370Z over there.
Oh, I saw
wide
that
body
one.
on bags.
That's pretty cool.
I think the cool part is too about these shows, it's like you see guys on Instagram from out of province, and you see all these people on social media, and then you get to come here and you get to like put a face to the name, like you. Like I talking to you for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
And get to,
So I met you in person now. Like it's a like I know what your hair looks like. I know I know, but I know what you look like.
Yeah. Exactly.
But before it's like it's more of a I'm gonna see you.
You just see the car.
Yeah, you see the car and you see the username.
Yeah.
And they're like, well that's I forget your username.
It's like 1JZ Mitch.
Yeah, 1JZ Mitch. And it's funny because I was talking to Devin Schneier.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got this guy. I don't know his last name, but it's 1JZ Mitch is his username. He's like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
but
I think that's one of the best parts. You get to kind of connect with a lot of people, get to see get inspiration on different builds. Like, and it might motivate you. Like
absolutely.
Last year I went to Sanseas with the Mazda, and I realized like I want something different. I seen people crowding around certain cars, and I was like, I want I obviously bought the car for myself, but that was kind of part of it. I wanted something that caught people's eye and had people coming up and taking
Right.
pictures of it without me asking.
And I mean, like, that does it now.
Yeah.
Like, it's gorgeous. It is
100%.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you very
Um,
much.
And it's weird because, like, I guess, excuse me, but like part of this culture,
I think it's a balloon.
like part of this culture is, I mean, like, you are gonna build the car for yourself. You're gonna sit down and you're gonna go, okay, I want these wheels and I want like this color and I want this car and I want it to look this way because I like it.
Yeah.
But it's also, you're like, as much as you're building for yourself, you're building it. I mean, you can't escape it now. Like, you're building it for people to admire it.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, you bring it to a car show, people are going to judge it, no matter whether you want them to or not.
Yeah.
And so building something that like you really like, but also translates to something that other people might like too. It's a hard line to follow. And
Yeah.
It's weird because like you see the internet cars that like people are like Police McFarland or like TJ Hunter, like all of these guys are building insane, ridiculous cars, but they've got YouTube money and they've got all this stuff. But it's hard because like even they get burnt out. They're like, I don't want to build another 1,500 horsepower
Yeah.
car. I want to build something for myself. And so like it's hard to kind of bridge that or like walk that
And
line.
it's easy to get lost in that too. Like, I think that's one of the most important things when getting into cars. It's like you were saying, you got to remember to build it for yourself at the end of the day. And for the most part, people are going to appreciate that. Like, you just got to kind of own it. I think
Right.
a lot of people now are just building Instagram cars, but if you're not like happy driving it, like right now, I got my car as low as it can go right now, and I'm like, I hate driving this thing. Like, I'll keep it like this for the show, but I cannot.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people drive
Oh,
around
man.
like
Well,
slammed like
Dude,
that.
it's crazy. Well, like I mean, my wheels that I just got, I was driving around, dude. I'm going 40 in a 50, and I'm swerving at every pothole. I'm like, how do people like? And I only got a 40 sidewall. It's
Yeah.
like I got rubber bands a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, why the fuck do people do this? Like, it
Yeah.
looks cool.
Yeah.
But I like I put my stock on. I'm racing through the like. I love it. It's great. Like,
Yeah.
I love driving my car, and not having having rubber bands or like having it really low.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you not want to drive your car. So it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird
100%.
thing.
And especially with the roads around here, it's just brutal.
Yeah. Anyways, well,
Yeah.
I'll let you get going.
Yeah. Thanks for having me
Yeah.
on, man. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you too,
Doing
man.
all this.